Some weeks it's silk, some weeks it's pure mud. Either way, we're still here, same badge, same blood. Welcome to the Burnie podcast.
So in tonight's episode we're going to talk about the 2009's continued cup run. Some more sponsors have joined us and we're going to chat to the voice of reason down here at the Burnie, Mr. Martin Strachan.
But first, the seniors were victim to the rain once again with a waterlogged pitch at Lochor Welfare. But first team captain James Mildrum found himself in the clubhouse educating the 2014s about what is expected of him as first team captain and the standards he must uphold.
So we've got some fantastic news regarding our Sporting Memories group. They've just secured more funding from the National Lottery, so we're incredibly grateful for the money that we get for projects like this. It allows us to have a positive and direct impact on our local community, so that's good.
Yeah, fantastic news. I've been along to a few of these and they're always great fun. The guys always seem to really enjoy it.
I was walking out the clubhouses, some of them were coming in, they were a good laugh. So.
Aye. And some sponsor news. The boys 2016s are now sponsored by Moe's Fish Bar, just over the road from here. I'll need to find out if there's any discounts for club members or that. That would be.
Hopefully.
That'd be interesting to find out.
Definitely. And the 2013s have also got a new sponsor as well. So the Mill Garden Centre are back in the 2013 Blacks home strip for the foreseeable future.
Yes, it is great to see local businesses getting involved in helping our little community grow. The boys 2014 Whites are also looking to grow their squad as they seek out a new goalkeeper. So get in touch with them if you know anybody that's looking for 2014 goalkeeper.
Yep. And on the girls' side of things, the 2015s have had a great day last weekend at the Little Kerse Festival with 6 games against some strong teams. The cold weather didn't stop them turning on the style with some good performances and a strong outlook for the upcoming 2026 season.
Yeah, it looks good. My daughter was actually as well got Trainer of the Week in the 2016
congrats.
Girls last week. I was rather proud.
Takes her football for mum.
Absolutely, 100%. And it certainly changed her mood because she had a really, really bad day at school. And so it's great to see football that was an escape to kind of lift that out of those youngsters. It's good.
Yeah.
So what were your youngsters, the 2009s? How did they get on?
Oof, you'd have to go further down than youngsters or Waynes.
So I take it the performance wasn't quite what you hoped for at the weekend?
Nah, we got the job done in the end, but I think we weren't as good as we can be.
This was against Glenaffer, is that right?
Glenaffer, they were definitely the better side. Everyone knew that. You know, I think we weren't as good as we could have been, or as we always are. But we scored. We were literally one of the last kicks of the ball for a free kick. Caden Mackay put that one in the back of the net. So we're lucky. I wouldn't say we're lucky to get through. You still need to dig in and work hard and things like that. But will we be a better team? No. But sometimes that's football. You just need to
raise your luck.
I think at 2-1, Blackburn had a good few chances. They should put that way. It would have been a different game. But as everybody knows, goals change games. And when Glenaffer got back to each, they were a better team at that point.
Absolutely.
So it was a game that swung both ways. And I do think still that if Blackburn had scored to make it 3-1, it would have been a different game.
Absolutely.
But 2 each,
because
totally
we played them in a friendly, and when we went 2-0 up, we ran away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that same thing could happen again. But for the quarter-final draw, we got Knightswood, and in my opinion, I think if we were in different brackets, that's your final.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a really, really tough game.
Is that their Glasgow, weren't they?
They're through that way.
Right.
When I was doing my C licence course, one of the boys on it turned around and said, Knightswood are the best team in the country, like talking about 2009. Didn't they ken I was the Blackburn coach? I was fuming. I turned around and said, no, they're not. I said, we're the Scottish Cup champions,
Aye.
So we need to go and prove that right.
So when are you facing them?
A week on Saturday.
Aye,
so quick turnaround for the round of 16, and then like the semi-finals like 2 weeks after that. So.
But you shouldn't look forward to that already.
One game at a time.
Yeah. I mean that's.
But the point I'm trying to make is like we all notice is they're kind of rushing through the competition this year. It's 16 2 weeks later. It's the quarter final 2 weeks later. The semis, and then the final will be the end of April, which it always is. But
I think the weather's impacted that in the previous years massively. So they've kind of been caught out. So they're maybe trying to change that.
No, definitely. What about your 2011s?
Yeah, we did. We our first one of the 2026 campaign. We beat Muirston 5-1. It was a good result, especially we were kind of minus a keeper at the moment. We put put our feelers out for a new keeper, and luckily we've got 2 on trial this week, which is good. We had Harris in goals, one of our strikers, and he did a great game. The only loss it was
seen some of your goals on Facebook as well. So
it was good. My colleague, a couple, and it was great to see them back into their good spell again. So hopefully it'll long continue. But we're going to have a bit of a break now. I think we've got 4 weeks before our next game.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that?
Because our league was originally 2 leagues, an A league and a B league. They combined it this year because a couple of teams had folded, but there's such a gap, they're basically looking to split the league in half. And at the moment we're smack bang right in the middle on level points with Kirkfield. So we have to now wait on other results to find out if when the split happens, if we're either going to be in the top half or the bottom half.
Well, that's not good, is it? 4 weeks without a match and you've just been off for Christmas, and then the weather on top of that. I don't know where that's decisions came through, but
I know. Well, we're going to try and get a couple of friendlies in against the Blacks, the 2011 Blacks as well. See if we can just keep the cogs turning over at least.
Definitely.
That'll be good. So Hearts dumped out of the cup.
Yeah, Falkirk beat them. Penalties. Yeah. Aye.
Deserved.
I didn't watch the game, but probably deserved. I mean, you go to Tynecastle and you managed to sneak a draw into penalty shootout. You're definitely, especially going to Tynecastle this season, probably are deserved of that win.
I only seen some of the highlights, but we're sitting in Purdy Worldwide, and Mr. Purdy tells me that it was SFA that beat them, no Falkirk. So,
well, I haven't heard them. I was going to say I haven't heard them moan about it or mention it. So, but I didn't want to bring it up in case it was. So, he thinks the SFA have definitely got something to do with it. Okay. And Livingston are still winless.
That's 23 games without a win.
Last minute goal last night.
Yeah, and then beat off penalties against St Mirren the week before too. So they'll know.
Not
the fans aren't happy.
No,
like, I've seen the Twitter. Their fans are like gone mental, but game's the game.
And can you trust? Do you think David Martindale's still the one to kind of take them forward?
He showed in the past that he can get results. I do agree that he probably hasn't got a lot to work with. I mean, in the past, Livingston had players like Lyndon Dykes and players like that.
But now, obviously, we've got Arfield coming in, and then there's another new sign. Did they not get somebody else in?
I think they got one in. Was it today or yesterday? Yep. But I think you can't judge Davy Martindale until he has a squad that he probably used to sort of have. I think, maybe if they go down, which looks like that, if they go down, they build a wee bit, come back up, continue to build, then you can judge them. But I think because they're in a bit of a transition for new owners, new signings, you know what I mean? He's maybe not had that chance to show what he could have done, which he showed in the past. So I think he could still do well.
And a big concern for them, I think, as well, is they've got an ageing squad. I think I seen a stat where I'm sure it was 8 or 9 of their squad and first team players were over 33-year-old at one point this season as well. So it's an ageing squad that he's got to work with. That's a worry as well, because that's a big turnaround the next again,
Yeah,
so
definitely. I think people are always quick to say Davy Martindale's got the safest job in football, but when you're working with Livingston, who have got probably one of the worst budgets in Scotland, they're actually kind of hitting above their weight in a way, even if being in the Championship. So I think you can judge him when he's got a good squad, in my opinion.
Okay. And if you're interested in any more writing or reading about Livingston, I know previous guest Callum Carson on his Substack, I'll put a link in the description as well. He's got some interesting articles I was reading the other day there, so make sure to check them out if you're interested in any of them. So
moving on.
Will we get our new guest out?
Aye, but before we do that, I think we need to have a wee word for our sponsor, which is maybe me, but still chuck it on anyway.
Well done. Yeah, sharp turn. Good, that's it, play. 1, that's it. 2, that's it. Yes, play, good, that's it. Good, drive. Good, do a wee outside cut here to turn. Oh, wee ball though will do. Brilliant, Amelia. Good, that's it, really play, good. That's it, brilliant. Good. Turn. Good, play. Yeah, 1, 2, that's it. Brilliant, get there. Yeah, just go. Brilliant, that's it, 2, down the corner, yes, that's it, brilliant, well done girls, doing really well.
Welcome to the podcast, Martin Strachan. I've been looking forward to this one, so welcome along.
Cheers, mate.
This has been one that I've been trying to get going, so
I've been bumped a few times, sorry.
how much you been paid?
a good lad.
Aye. Well, Wilson, for anybody that doesn't know you then, so who are you and what's your role at Blackburn?
So I'm Martin Strachan. Current role just now is I'm part of the board and kind of deal with the strategic planning of the club. So looking at 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans for what's down the road for the club and the direction it's going in.
Cool.
So how did you get involved with the club in the first place? Was it through your son's team, or were you already in and about the place?
So, funnily enough, so Lyle played, he went to soccer school. I didn't have anything to do with it. The team left the soccer school, as they do, progress from the soccer school to go on to be a four-a-side team. And I remember standing at the old terrace one day, and they were short of coaches, and Brian Smiley gone by as crabbit as ever and says some expletives to me and told me that I shouldn't be standing there, I should be helping coaching. So I got the other side of the barrier, and the rest is history. 10 years down the line with that team.
10 years.
So yep, so it just took, and I say that all the time, if Brian hadn't said that to me, then I wouldn't have been involved. But I say that to all the parents out there, like, don't just stand there. It's no the hardest thing in the world. There's different levels to it. You can do anything you want coaching wise, but go and help the kids. They need help. They need all the help and support. The coaches need all the help and support, and that's how it changed for me.
Oh, brilliant. And what does a board member or / committee member, whatever, do week to week at the club? Like, what if when you walk into the stadium, what's your sort of first thing you're going to do?
First thing when I walk in is look to see where Trevor is and walk in a different direction. So that's the first thing I do. But in all honesty, Trevor's great for the club. Keeps us all ticking over. Got loads of questions for the board. Got loads of ideas for the board, and we need people like that all the time. And I think when you go in there as a board member, we're always just cautious. Like, that pitch is what we need for the club, what we need to keep boys and girls playing football. So everybody's keen to make sure there's no goals that are in the wrong bits, that are broke, that could damage the pitch. People have got the correct boots on. I know it sounds rubbish all the time. We send emails out, we come along and tell people we can't be in the pitch with the boots, but we're doing it for a reason. We're doing it for the longevity of the
So
club.
it's like standards checking, sort of welfare checking.
Just welfare checking, just make sure everybody's alright, being a helping hand. If I'm down, I'm not as down as much now due to working that, but if I'm down during the week, I try and talk to as many coaches as I can, ask them if they've got any issues, but if they've got any problems, help them out with things, just to be there for people, just to be a soundboard for people.
Aye, definitely. That's cool.
So what are kind of the most common issues that you kind of come up with when you're dealing with these kind of things?
So one of the biggest issues, I would say, football wise, and it causes the most issues in teams, and you two guys have been involved in teams, and you all know, is parents thinking their kids are at a different level than they are. But parents overall, but parents thinking their kids are at a different level than they are is really difficult, especially when you've got teams where before, when you've got 7 sides and you've got the advanced, intermediate, and then your development. A lot of parents don't like their kids being at development, but they're at development for a reason. I've seen kids come from development to advance because they can change within 6 months. And somebody once says to me, and it stuck with me, is like, you would never go to school and say to a teacher at maths, I think my son should be in the top maths class, when he's not, because you're pushing him too hard. Oh. And sometimes parents need to realise that with football, it's just relax. They all change at different ages. There was, as I say, I had been third year at 11 sides when we went and brought a player back who had been a development player for us, and it was superb. And they'll change at different times, they all grow differently, they'll advance differently. So I think that's and when I'm down and go to teams, that's what the coach will come up and say, oh, this parent said this to me, or this parent said that, or I think I should move this guy here, I think I should do that. You're not doing it out of badness. You're doing it for what you think is right for the player at that time.
And do you go to deal with the parent, or do you tell the coach advice on what to do?
Give him advice. In my previous role, when I was the youth side of it, which I don't that do now, I would go and speak to a parent if need be, But I would still speak to a coach, and if they wanted me to be present with them, I would be beside them as well. But it's just having it's difficult conversations. It is difficult conversation to speak to a parent and say, but it's for the best for their kid.
And how do you sort of be approachable but fun with that conversation?
It's hard. You've got to look at the longevity of it all. That, like, I've seen kids buzzing to be in a different team, but the parents know, and the parents can be the one that's pushing their kid. Their kid doesn't really want to be, or their kid's happy in that team, and then they can just suppress that kid as well. So it's hard talking to a parent to try and tell them what they should be doing with their kid, because that's no, they can tell me no, but you've got to be firm where if they're at Blackburn they're going to be in this team. So it's a challenge. Like, 7-a-side, as I go back to that, 7-9s is the best for it. You'll see players totally change, and that's why the development, intermediate and advanced is there, so that players who are at that level stay at that level. There's also, I noticed some of the teams in 2009 that have had to move. The West Lothian League is no longer, but they've had to move to Edinburgh or Lanarkshire. Some of the teams that were development teams are still playing in Division 3s. So they've had a pathway all the way through. They've not quit football, where there's better players who've quit football. There's players who have played advanced who have just stopped playing football. But these guys who have been development all their lives love football and they're still playing football. So to me, they're winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a win.
Absolutely.
Their parents should see that as a win. Their parents shouldn't see it as, I remember 8 years ago you put him down in development. Yeah, but he's still playing football.
We've kept them together.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the guy who's playing advanced, he's not bored his backside. He's got bored of football and stopped playing. Loads of them. But this wee guy who's development is still playing every week. So you've got to balance it all out.
And you'll probably find that it's sort of like development and that the kids, maybe not the parents, but the kids probably have better attitudes in terms of they want to get better, but maybe an advanced kid can be like, well, I'm the bee's knees. You know what I mean?
Well, so there is that as well. That look, we're coaches, we're not paid, some of us. We're not paid, we're no.
Who are you looking at?
Well, for your 1-to-1s you're paid. I'm not paid.
Aye.
I probably do a better 1-to-1, but anyway. We're not paid, we're volunteers, and you cannot be across the kids all the time. The kids can be horrible, we all know that. The boys can be horrible, girls can be horrible to each other. And if there's a guy in the team who is struggling, they'll pick up on that. They'll have a go at him. See when they go in for their wee drinks and that, or they're paired up with them, they can have a go at them. I've seen it, and you try and sort it out, but you can't be the eyes and ears there all the time. But if they're in their own level, that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen. And you're never going to get every team with everybody at the same level. You're always going to have a better player, but you should have a level playing field across it. And that's the big bit of advice I would give all the teams now is, it's hard, especially when you're 7s, 9s before you go to 11s, because your 11s, it all changes. But do the right thing for the kid. And the parents should be doing the right thing for the kid.
No, 100%. I think you said that's sort of spot on. Just take your ego out of it and just let the kids play football.
So how important then would you consider, like you say, take your ego out of it? You've got to set an example. How important is that to set an example for as these like coaches are?
You've got to set an example. You've also got to listen to other advice. I was really lucky with the coaches I had. One of them certainly was Derek Wilkie, who is now helping United. He had no kids associated with the club. So when I started helping the 2009s, then we started kind of more progressing the 2009s. Derek came along at a stage where he had all the coaches involved at that time. I'll go back and speak about some of them later. But Craig Burns, Stevie, Kev Baird, all had Ali Redmond was all involved at my age group. All had kids at the club. So you it was difficult to get a balance right. You want to offend them as well. But Derek came in with no kids at the club, so he was the soundboard for me. What do you think of this player? I think he should be there. What do you think of this player? You knew there wasn't any
biasy.
There wasn't any. I'm not saying these coaches would, but I've seen it before with other coaches. That's their kid's mate, so they want their kid's mate in their team because I know what to lose their mates. So he was really good for me. He's saying he should be here, he should be here, he should be here. Then later on in our journey, when we went to 11s, we had Rido join us, who again obviously didn't have a kid to anybody, well, he's not been kissed, never mind a kid, but
Yeah.
he didn't have anybody associated to the club, so he was excellent as well. Where I'm able to talk to these guys, and I might have an opinion, and it might be wrong, and they'll tell me it's wrong, but my opinion will work out together, and we'll come to a level where you think, right, do you know what, we're right on this, we've got this. Well, when we were at seven-a-side, we had 3 teams, and you could nearly write out, you could say 10, you pick 10, you pick 10, you pick 10, advanced, intermediate and development, and every coach wouldn't be far away from where they were putting them. Maybe 1 or 2, and you could discuss them, but as coaches, you've done it. You know how to bracket players and where they should be for the best for them as well.
Definitely. I think like a positive with the 2009s, like I know unfortunately last year he was folded, but at a point of that year, it was between the 2 teams, it was me, Trevor, yourself, Derek and Rido, and obviously you have Lyle, but apart from that, like there was anybody say the full 2009 age group was just people who had no involvement with people at that team, and I think that's a real positive that we had last year.
Yeah, and again going back to seven-a-sides, from 5s to 7s, one of the first moves we done, I moved Lyle, and it was a statement that if I can date to Lyle, I can date to anybody.
Aye.
And he needed to move at that time, and I stand by that. But
Up or down did they go?
I moved him, so he was playing with Vance, he went in intermediate, he went to the Blacks, but I still maintain it's the right decision, but it was also a message that this is how it is. You know what I mean? It's
And you're leading by example.
and that's how it is, and it worked out fine.
And it's something you can always carry with you, because if a parent ever challenges you in the future, you can just be like, well, I moved my laddie down, so I'm moving yours down, I don't care. That's what's best for him.
That's what's best for that.
Because at the end of the day, the children come to football, and we are to look after the children, not the parent.
Yep. And did he enjoy it better? 100%. 100%. So you've got to look at the bigger picture.
100%.
No, I definitely see that, especially at my 2011s. We've got Graham, who's the main coach, and he has no children associated with it, and I actually probably am more, I say to him, like, make sure, like, Nathan, my son, does not get, like, any kind of special treatment of that, like, don't. So
Graham's another great example. A great example of how he sees a fit in a team. He sees it really well.
Yeah.
And Graham's another great example of a coach who came in, and when he came in and spoke to us, he could have had any team or helped in any team, but he wanted a team who was struggling, needed developed, wanted to take a team on, and look how it's worked out.
Yeah.
Team's absolutely doing brilliant compared to when Graham came in.
Did he take the 05s like that played in the B League?
Yes.
I thought so, because I'm 2005 myself, so I've played against Graham's team like many years ago.
Yep, and that's what people didn't realise, that it's alright parents get involved, but guys like Graham, Derek,
you need
are the salt of the earth, older heads, older experience. Then you've got young guys like yourself and Rido who add in. I maintain that as a coach, I ended up winning a few trophies, but I didn't win the trophies.
No,
it's getting a good team behind you, a coaches first who I could rely on, who then gets a good group of laddies as well. So it's having that right team. You can be a great coach, but you could take 2 or 3 guys round about you who
aren't so great,
and it pulls everything down. Like, it got to a point where I didn't have to worry if I was working late, because I knew the session would be fine. Where maybe previously sometimes I'm going, if I'm not there, you worry about things, but you've got to get the proper team round about you where you trust, and you know the boys trust. Because I've also had some coaches who I know the boys would take the crap out of you, and it's not nice. So you've got to get to that level where it's. And if you notice it now more in football than ever, the backroom staff, a lot of the backroom staff makes the team, not just the manager. So it's
aye.
It's built. I mean,
is that maybe what's gone wrong at Livingston a wee bit then?
I'd say it's what's gone at United. Trevor needs to get shot at you. But though, you're saying about Livingston, Marvin Bartley, brilliant. Every time he speaks, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Hear him on the radio, TV, sounds a great coach.
Aye.
is he the one to maybe step up the next time? Potentially.
Who knows? Absolutely.
Maybe we'll ask Mr. Martindale to come on the podcast. That would be a good one.
You should.
Aye, if Davey, if you're watching, so
Somebody tag on me.
aye. Well, obviously you just spoke a wee bit there about some of the trophies. I know there was a really famous one we can talk about as well. I seen your interview and that, so let's dive into that one. Talk us. Who did you play? What was the day like? Obviously, I think in that interview you said you weren't given a chance. So
that was our first season. So as I say, I was involved in all the teams, advanced intermediate development. We then split into the nines, which was advanced, intermediate, and supported by some development players who were at that level to push up. And then going to 11s, some of the intermediate moved up. We also merged with a few players. I say merged, but a few of our players would, at that point, you could play Saturday, Sunday. So a lot of our boys were playing 7-a-side for Blackburn on a Saturday, 7-a-side for Tiny on the Sunday, or Scotland boys on the Sunday. So we had basically about 15 players playing twice a week. Because they loved it, they wanted to do it, and it was brilliant for them. So it came to the point where we decided it'd be better to bring some of the Tiny boys and the Blackburn boys back into Blackburn, and we'd go into Edinburgh League, because that's where it got to the point where most of them wanted to go and join that Edinburgh League. So we kept it in house. No, a lot of teams had moved, so we decided to move through, and it was tough. I remember the first ever game we went and played, and there was a few. I'm not one to moan about referees. Normally after the game, I'm not one to moan about referees during the game, but there was a few decisions I thought, is this what it's going to be like every game through in Edinburgh? But then I think I was just kind of being naive as well, and that was in my mindset. But it was a tough wee while to adapt. We had a good season. I'm sure we finished second that season or third. But the big one was obviously the regional cup, because a Blackburn team hadn't won it. So we went through down to Berwick on the bus, and Dunbar on the bus, and our team so we had an Edinburgh team and a West Lothian team, and our West Lothian team being the Blacks came down on the bus with us. So they came, the full team came down, great support all day, and that was the kind of togetherness I loved about the Blackburn team. We were all one. Doesn't matter what team you played for at that point. We were all one, and we were playing the mighty Spartans. And I remember walking into the ground, and they had this banner up, and it says, "This is our city." And I just stared at it, and I thought, nah, it might be your city, but it's our cup. And it kind of, that woke me up that day, and I just thought, like, it kind of reminded me that we come from Blackburn, it's a small town here, it's a tiny wee place, and I thought, do you know what, it doesn't matter, we're here to win a game of football. And we went 1-0 down quite early. Craig Burns was he was the main man of that team. Craig is an absolutely amazing coach. Pain in the arse as a guy, pain in the backside as a guy to me, but no, he's a good guy, great guy, and he done so much for that team, that United team. The training, he ate, slept it, he just everything. I'd get messages from him all the time. He just loved it, and his energy for it was amazing. And we'd been playing them a couple of weeks before, and their coaches had a few words with Craig, blah blah blah, and it was like it was premeditated. That as soon as Craig shouted for something, the three coaches jumped up, and there was a big argument, and that kind of set the tone as well. But once you settled down into the game, we lost. We went 1-0 down, and you kind of go, oh, this is difficult. Spartans were amazing. They were a great team. They were a really tough team to play. But we had some outstanding performances that day. Alex, did you work with Alex? Was he away?
Ginger boy.
Yep, Alex.
I think he was away. In fact, I worked with him once. I think he came to a wee session during that Christmas, the other one before that last year. I think him and Dylan and all that, the St Johnson boys came down. Yep. So I've seen him once.
So Big Eck on his day was unplayable, and he scored a hat trick that day, and it was probably one of the best performances I've seen at an age group where somebody just took a final by the scruff of the neck. Yes, the team performed great. Our keeper pulled off got a couple of good saves, but to score a hat trick in a cup final like that, it was phenomenal. And they won the game, and the rest was history. This wee guy came and put a microphone in my face as soon as the final whistle had went, and it was if you say, if you watch it, it was quite an emotional interview. But it was good. It was good. Enjoyed that night.
Aye, I bet you did.
Yep.
No, that was brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Superb. Obviously, Lyle was there as well to enjoy it. And
so he was there with his team supporting him. They were noisy. They were good. At the end of the game, there's a great photo or two that you see the both teams celebrating together, and to me that meant a lot as a coach overseeing both teams, just to see
team,
and that's what I wanted everybody the same. Everybody, we're in this together, and
because
so
they push each other on. Like, I don't know, I wasn't at this point, but I don't know if maybe they trained together a couple of times or what, or even if the boys in the blacks were working really hard. It turns into the boys at what's my team now, it turns into the same. There's still boys that are working hard, that are wanting your places, and without even realising they're pushing each other on. That sort of wee pushes then allowed that team to go and win the cup.
Yep, and the Blacks went and won the County Cup that year too. So you had the Regional Cup and the County Cup back at Blackburn for the 2009 age group, which was superb for the first years in 11. So it really was that was what really pushed the two teams on to be successful. Obviously, Craig laid so much foundations in that United team before Alistair moved on to Hibs eventually, and that's when Trevor came in, when Craig couldn't give us the time, because you talk about pro youth and what pro youth does for players, but like there's a guy for Whitburn having to travel 3 times into Edinburgh through that bypass 3 times a week, so their boy can train pro youth. You know what I mean? That's a lot of time and a lot of dedication, and another, it's a bugbear in me, is it's a pro youth's it's more a richer game now than it ever was. If you've not got the money to travel 3 times a week, you're not travelling 3 times a week.
And the clubs unfortunately won't help you out.
Yeah, and the clubs will not help you out. And I remember buses used to come and pick team players up. It used to be like a Dundee United bus would come around here, and a Hibs bus would come and pick players up now. But obviously things that have happened in the past, you're not allowed to do that anymore. And it is sad that pro youth is moving away from an area like Blackburn. An area like Blackburn where some people will not be able to afford.
I don't know if the scouts. I don't know if it's the scouts that avoid it, or if it's maybe people don't take up on the offer or whatever. But I mean, after our Scottish Cup win, we've seen Spartans get readied, we've seen Edinburgh United get readied, and we're just thinking there was only maybe 1 or 2 offers.
So Livingston's one that surprised me when they first started the pro youth. Did they ever come to one of our games? No. We were regional champions, we were county champions, won the leagues. Never seen a Livy scout at one of our games. Never ever. Then they produced the Livingston Academy, and never once came to watch one of our games.
Yeah, not at all. I think there was our captain last year, Reese. He obviously had his opportunity to trial with Livingston, and I think apart from that, he was the only one. Mm-hmm. And it's probably too late now, to be honest. It's maybe not too late for other teams to come in and snoop about, but I think like the boys are really keen to go 20s and first team instead of staying at their own age group, and I think that's what I'm saying about it being too late. I think teams kind of come in with what we can sort of offer for their development, and I think the boys are invested in what we want to do for them.
Totally.
So I think it's past now.
And it's not too late. If I look at that United team, I see some even on Saturday. When was it? Saturday. Even on Saturday when I was watching the game, and I'm not seeing a lot of them, but some of them look like football players now. You know what I mean? They move like football players. They read the game like football players, and they could take that step up. Maybe they've not been picked up for pro youth, but doesn't mean
I don't mean like it's too late for them to go pro youth. I just think it's too late for a pro youth team to try and change their minds of where they want to be, because they're settled here and they know they've seen Blair go and do it, and they want to go and compete with Blair. Do you know what I mean?
And pro youth teams, a year and 2 years ago should have really had their squad settled, and then they may develop their players. And obviously, some of them will not make it. But
we shouldn't exist. We should have lost 15 players.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Broxburn have just announced that we're running an under-20s team now as well.
They were avoiding it, I think, because the fun fives had on the Friday night, which, there's 150 kids there playing football every Friday night. It was a really hard thing to tackle, but I don't know if you heard much about that, what they're doing, because you're quite involved.
Not heard, not been advised anything. The meeting is in a couple of weeks for the fives, and I believe they'll maybe just move it slightly earlier. You've got to be off the park, is it an hour before it? Is that about
an hour? Because the boys will come in, dressing rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have a look at like Broxburn High School or something. Let's keep it fairly close, but aye.
And Aaron, the guy who runs it, he's been doing it since I was there. He does a fantastic job of that. So I'm sure he'll be keen to, or he'll have a solution anyway.
Aye, definitely. I think it's something that Broxburn were missing. I mean, a lowland league team doing, in my opinion, you need a 20s. You need to feed players in, and Broxburn being on a similar level to us. Having a really good youth setup, you're sort of missing your last stage of your last bit of the bridge. You got your 18s, you got your first team, but you're missing that bridge for the boys who can't go. The boys on your Blair Floods that can go straight up. You're missing that last part of the bridge, so it's important that they have that 100%.
Obviously, following our leads just with under 20s, really.
Aye, we were. If nobody knew, we were the first ever under 20s ever. We invented it. Nobody else did. Not even any other country in the world. It was Blackburn. Lies.
So what obviously you talked earlier about your strategic planning. What's kind of next, or what's on the future pipeline for Blackburn? Or what can you tell us?
Not a lot. What I can tell you is there's a great on the board, and within the remit of just outside the board, there's a fantastic group of people who have all got Blackburn at heart, and who are all invested in pushing for the best for this club and the best for the community. You're asking what our plans are. I had a conversation with Trevor the other day, was it Monday? He likes to call me during work hours and talk away.
Does he?
Oh yes, he
that's
does.
New. I never knew that.
I get that all the time.
So Trev phoned me, and we were both on the same wavelength. Like where there was a few things coming up, and we just want to punch above our weight. And if we can't punch above our weight, we'll take the next one. We'll take the next one. We'll just reach for the stars on how far we can take the club.
Isn't that my saying?
Aye, I think that
was my one. Well, is that where he's taking it for?
No, it's me that said it to him.
Was it you that said it? You maybe watched the podcast and took it off of me. I always say reach for the stars and just maybe just a wee bit. You hit the clouds.
I do watch this podcast.
Do you know? No, they are. Don't worry. No, I do.
You'll be spamming your links every day with every episode. You watch this one yet?
You should. We'll go dive into a wee bit more away from the football and into your sort of personal sort of life as well. So I was mistaken. I thought you were a virgin, but you work at Sky. So how did that come about? What's your day-to-day job?
So I worked at Sky now for 18 years. Previously worked at HSBC, moved over to Sky, and worked in their billing team. But had a good few jobs in Sky, but now I am a planning manager for broadband. So your routers that you see in the house, I plan for them to be in the warehouse so that they can get to the customer, and how much we need at X amount of time, and basically do not stock out of them. So planning manager, similar to running a football team. You just plan for everything.
Transferable skills.
So I take it quite a few of them. You'll need your communication and staying calm and handling pressure.
Yep.
Both across both fields, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's sometimes I laugh at how similar it was running a football team to your communication is one of the big ones, and one of the big ones that I had to be in charge of when I was running the team, communicating, because I I needed to know it was done. I needed to speak to the referee, know he was coming. I needed to speak to our team, know that they knew what was happening, knew what strips they were going to wear. I needed to put it out in the spawn to all the parents to know who was coming. I had to have that control of the communication where I knew it was getting done. And Stevie Bailey would always stand in for me if I was on holiday, because I knew he was always good at it as well.
Aye.
I'm sure Jill helped him though, but
How's that sort of like with your stuff at Sky sort of helped you as a coach, in terms of the drills and that, but like for example, like a really good team talk that you've delivered, or something that you or maybe a mistake that you've made at Sky, and maybe it's something along the lines of something at Blackburn, and you've maybe looked back at that.
Yeah, so I guess, Mark, you'll know this as well because you work in a team. Everybody's different in my team when I'm at work, and everybody's different in a football team. So it's having like how I would speak to you would potentially be different to how I'd speak to him.
You need to dumb it down for me a wee bit.
Well, the way I would have spoke to you on Saturday, when you chucked that ball down, you wouldn't want to know. You wouldn't have been next to me on a football pitch again.
You were warned about kicking goalposts before, and now you've been throwing balls about.
To be fair, it was a straight red.
Doesn't matter. If your player does that next with the ball, he's booked, and he's always doing his copying you. So there's your lessons you speak about, taking things for work, learning. People mirror your
I need like an anger management course. That's what I need. I don't think there's any transferable skills I'll get from my 1-to-1s to the Blackburn.
No, it's just things like that. And within Sky, I've had some fantastic bosses who I look up to, and their management skills are brilliant, but so adaptable when it comes to how they treat people and how you treat people at football.
No, 100%.
Anything the other way around with football that you've taken into Sky?
A good question.
Can I be kicking footballs about?
Can I be chucking footballs about? Yeah. Probably. Communication wise, because without sounding too bad on parents again, we've all been there where you'll send out a message just you think it's clear as anything, and they'll come back and ask a question on it straight away. So I guess it was just like
the janitor wants to be a software engineer.
just making sure that so as when I was sending out my football message, I would always, because I'm more passionate about football than I am about my work, and I'm sorry if anybody from my work's listening to this, but so obviously like all the detail was there. I had the postcode, I had everything. I was making sure everything, how I would like to receive it. And maybe that's what I took into my work after that, is how I'd like to receive a message.
Yeah.
Because I was doing that through football, so
Yep. Aye. No, definitely, because I think I couldn't do the secretary's role, because I would overthink every single communication between the parents and everything.
And even the way they reply to you, you sometimes you go, right.
Oh shoot, are they annoyed with me?
Yeah. Well, has he got to leave?
Aye.
Like,
Aye.
It's just things like that, and but dealing with parents and dealing with kids is obviously a massive thing to do, and any one of us here can use these skills. So I believe any of us going for a job interview saying that you're a football coach, things like that, is a massive tick in any industry that you're going to go into.
No, definitely. Do you think you would say that your football life like bleeds into your work life, or would you like vice versa? How would you? So
I actually sometimes I look back on when we were at our peak with the football, running the 211s teams. So you've got double sets of parents, double sets of kids, and in work, and you're getting phone calls and messages, and you're getting messages for coaches about training plans, you're getting messages for parents, it's spitting away off, is training off. I would always reply, you'll be the first to know. If training's off, you'll be the first to know. And that's, it kind of eats into your work life, it does, because when you get a message, you want to reply to it. And that was actually a few weeks ago, and I'm really busy at my work now, and I was like, how did I manage?
Aye.
How did I manage to do both when I was still busy? But obviously you adapt. And again, that's about having a good team round about you that you can trust. That you know if I am going to be late for work, that they're going they're going to be doing something. You're not going to just walk up and the kids are ratting balls off each other. So again, it's about getting that good team round about you. But sometimes I do look back again, how did I hear the balance? How did you manage to balance what?
It's hard because I think like me, I'm quite fortunate that like the Blackburn and the 1-to-1s, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the same methods of communication. It's, you know, I'm free during the day because and it ties in so well, and that makes me think about how lucky I am that sort of way. Like I'm no, you know, having to balance a job with the coaching, and so it's definitely it's something that you yourselves can definitely be proud of.
And in coaching, you're never like, I would get messages on Saturday nights, Sundays. You know what I mean? So okay, some of them were good messages about their son had played well. Some of them were, he's not happy, he's not playing. But I used to tell people to talk to us. Another tip for young coaches: if a parent wants to speak to you, tell them to come after training when you've put everything away. Most of them will not come and speak to you. They want to speak to you before training or during training. Tell them that's not acceptable.
That's the boys' time.
Come and speak to us after training, once we've put the kit away, and hardly any of them will come and speak to you. If they want to come and speak to you, know you've probably got a problem.
Aye.
It's like how important that issue is, definitely.
Yeah. So they kind of go back in the car and they'll say to the laddie, listen, we'll just leave it. But if it's not that important,
and if
it's that important, they'll wait and they'll have the conversation.
Yeah.
But what I would say as well is, talk about your question about work and coaching. Coaching's a massive escape for the real world anyway. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this a couple of years ago with the coaching and stuff like that. And there's times where I've come in and I'm like, hard day at work. Neil's been riding my backside. I can't
What?
Sorry, I
Gets a bonus for it. He gets a bonus for
it. And I can't be bored going to training. But see, when you get there and you actually get involved,
buzzing.
It's buzzing. You come back, you're absolutely just amazing.
Oh,
Why was I even thinking about that?
I've even went times where I feel crap, I've choked with a cold, but come back buzzing with it. And another prime example, you asked me about my work. You mentioned Neil. For him, putting his time in as well, which it does, is absolutely fantastic, given that he's got such an important job and looking after so many people. It doesn't make him less crap at it, but it's a good escapism when we talk about escapism for him as well. He loves it. He's got a buzz. I spoke to him on Sunday after his boys' game. He was buzzing.
I was speaking to him on Monday about the boys' game, so he was still buzzing. Talked to Maxie's saves and stuff like that. Absolutely.
And that's what football's all about, and that's what the joy you get for coaching, and the joy, like now seeing him getting the same buzz that I had out it as well, is it's rewarding.
Yeah. No, I think that's the biggest thing with coaching. It's the most rewarding, whether you get paid or you don't. It's the most rewarding job or way you could spend your time in the world, seeing people progress, seeing the impact you're making, sort of thing. It's massive.
Yep.
The impact that the club that you're working for is making.
Yep.
So it's the most rewarding thing ever.
The thing is, I always think that you'll change a kid's life and you'll never know. You'll never know. And that's what kind of kept me going a few times where I thought, I need a break, I need out. I thought that the boys are at the age now where you could change their life and you'll never know about it. You could put them down the right pathway that you'll never know that you've done, but that's where your rewards are away for it.
Yeah.
It's when you see people that you've not seen in a long time and they recognise you.
Yep.
That's when you kind of know a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
aye. So what would you? I think we've covered this already. But what would you say to a parent thinking about volunteering, but they're feeling they're not qualified enough?
Oh, get in. It's that, like, I was maybe that parent at one time. Maybe I thought I was on the edge. I didn't know what to do. You question yourself, what am I going to do? I don't know how to football coach, but you get so much support now. There's so much. Now even more so, there's so much stuff online.
Oh yeah, I mean the stuff we get weekly for coaches and that.
Yep.
The football. I can't remember what the name of
the manual. Is it the manual?
Manual. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I look forward to that.
At Blackburn, we're lucky because I've been at a few clubs and noted that there's Blackburn's got a good connection with coaches. I watch the coaches come off the age groups and they all speak to each other. Some other clubs I've been and watched, it doesn't happen. We all seem to know each other and know each other well, so you can go and ask questions to anybody. You can go and help out other.
You could show up every day of the week and you'd know at least one coach. I think definitely. I think that's what's
And
phenomenal.
And like we, as I'd say to parents, you don't need to just come and help. Just come and help out. Just do anything. We had a parent. Sadly, passed away. It was his funeral on Monday. Kev Baird, who was a fantastic guy, and he just wanted to come along, and he wanted to help the coaches. He didn't want to coach, he wanted to help the coaches. So he would help. The way he helped the coaches was, he would pick up the cones at a certain point. He would make sure the boys were all right. He'd make sure there was enough balls. He was absolutely brilliant at it. He loved it. He would then, what he was great for as well was, he'd be the guy who would go round, and the wee guy who was maybe down or gutted about something, he'd pick them up.
Aye.
And give him confidence, or say, I thought you were great there. He knew every single, out of 30 laddies, he knew every single player. He would watch the 3 games at the weekend when we were at Livingston, and he would talk about every player, and he would give them positives. Now, that's what he's done. He's not what to coach. But he was brilliant at just being as he said, I just love helping coaches. But he was helping everybody, helping the team.
Being a positive effect, and I think that's what I've learned a lot with our guys, is see if you have a positive influence, no matter what's happening, you're positive with them and reinforce that
Yep.
they will grow and it
Yep.
will be better for them.
And I go up to the soccer school, and you try to get parents involved, and I see like 10 parents standing outside who could easily be involved, and we're not asking you to be Pep Guardiola.
No, it's exactly, you don't need to be coaching this, literally.
Yep.
You can
just go in and help the guys. See the 2 guys that are standing at Mooriston on a rainy night getting soaked. Go and help them be standing next to the kids so they can go and do something else. Mooriston, when you go to Fun Fours, is one of the most daunting things ever for a new coach, because you're moving about pitches all the time. So the coach is maybe looking at his phone saying, right, we're on, what pitch are we on? And we Johnny's ran away. So you turn around and you've only got 3 players. But if you had somebody else beside you,
keeping an eye on things,
looking after the players, and that person might think, but I'll just be standing there. But you're like,
Eyes and ears.
I just want you to stand there. Didn't feel bad for just stand there. You just stand there. So it's wee things like that. Now what we do is we try and take the younger coaches along. Kelly and Lyle have done it, helped out. There's another couple who have done it as well, which is brilliant for them. But moving that team forward, it'd be better having more parents involved.
Aye.
The more the better. You'll know
Because
that. The more the better.
The day that they go into exams and jobs and placements and universities elsewhere, it's
Yep.
going to be who have we got now?
Yep, and that's it.
Because not everyone will volunteer like they two, because they two are fantastic.
Aye.
But
And
not everyone will volunteer
no.
like Kelly and Lyle.
And as I say to all parents, is like, you can do as little or as much as possible. You know what I mean? But if you're representing that team, you're there. So go and help. Don't just stand at the side. Go and help, and you'll love it. You would never have thought you'd have done it.
No. I'm still not getting my coaching badges.
but you're being that helper. You're being the guy there. You'll know. You like Kev I mentioned. You'll know all the boys. You'll know everything. You're a clog of that team, and that's what it needs.
Aye.
That's what it needs. It needs a team. I'll go back to 2018s. They've got 2 coaches. They keep crying out for more. Nobody's stepping forward as yet. Hopefully they will. They're going to Mooriston, so they'll take a team each to Mooriston. That means they can only take so it's 5 and 1 or 2 subs.
So you get 10 maybe.
So say 12 max, and maybe boys will have to miss out. But if one of them are sick, then that's a full team missing out. But that helper could step in for one night, because it's only 5 aside. You know what I mean? So, but people didn't see the bigger picture until it impacts their son. So if your son then misses out, you'll go, oh no, I should have got involved. And by that point, it's too long, because we all know how long a PVG takes, how long.
Aye.
But just go and be a team helper. Just go and get yourself as a team helper. That means that you can be there.
So maybe you can't get everyone to sign up to it, but it's maybe something we need to introduce when people sign up. It's like, they maybe need to tick a box. Do you want to be PVG registered and be next in line
Yep.
to take the team in case of emergency?
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, you're probably going to get more people saying yes than you would if you didn't have that option there. So maybe,
And that's it. It's one of the things I'm really passionate about, is people getting involved, people helping out. everybody is. For me, I find it strange. I see it, and I speak to some of my mates about this as well, who go and watch their kids, and they're standing outside a park. Like, why? You're spending all your time watching them training. You spend all your time going to games. Get involved.
And it's the ones as well that do talk, that don't get involved.
Yes.
That's like,
Yes.
You don't need to, be. You just need to put your opinion across.
Yes.
I mean, you don't need to be Guardiola, but at least put your opinion across while you're involved.
So, best bit of advice I got ever was from Mark Campbell, when I started helping out in the 2009s when they just came out of soccer school. And one of my biggest concerns was parents, and parents who think they know maybe better and things like that. So I spoke to Mark about it, and he says, well, what you say to parents is, and I've still used it till I've finished up, what you say to parents is, you sound like you really know what you're talking about. Why don't you get involved? Now, as Mark said, 9 out of 10 will walk away. One will say aye. He says, and that one will be excellent. Now, that one for me was Craig Burns. I said that to Craig Burns, and he got involved, and it was the best thing that happened to the 2009s. So that one person did step up, but others have said the same thing and never came back. So it just...
Put your money where your mouth is.
That's it.
Aye.
That's
Aye.
it.
Okay, right.
And that was going to be the next question. If you could change anything about youth football culture in Scotland, what would it be? And
Parents. so funnily enough, not just parents, but during COVID, just after COVID, if you can remember the time where parents weren't allowed in the facility, but parents could stand round about the facility as long as we're out it. I noticed more boys develop in that period, in games and in training,
Because there was no pressure.
because there was no parents.
Aye.
I noticed boys listening more because they want to turn around, look they'll do something and look at their parents for a
advice.
clap or you're doing well or come on. And during that period is the most time I've seen kids develop as quick as I did over that period, and it was strange. It was strange. I think, as you say about youth football, I think we need a full cultural change on it, on the football side of it, of what parents think of what they want. As I say, I spoke about it earlier, that some people try to push their kids too high, too fast. They wouldn't go into a maths class, as I said, and say, I want him to be in the higher class when he's foundation, so why walk into a coach and say, if you don't take my son to your top team, I'm taking him elsewhere. So I think it goes back to as simple as just let the boys play. Let the boys play and let the coaches coach and see how it works out.
Definitely. There's no better message that needs to be sent across the country, in my opinion.
Yep, and that's where it just comes down to something as simple as that.
And I think it's just a football thing as well. Even if you were at a dancing class or something, you wouldn't feel as if people would go and do that.
Nah.
But see, because football is just a naturally intense and aggressive sort of sport. It's people
don't want to be left out.
It's part of the national identity. That's what it is. Like you think about what's happening this summer for us and how much we're looking for bank holidays and stuff. That shows you how much it affects Scotland as a...
Some parents are scared their kids are missing out.
Yeah.
and some parents want their kids to live their dreams.
Yes,
through them.
that's another one. We see that all the time where, sadly, especially in Scottish football and our culture, there must be 1,000 people in Blackburn alone that tell me they could have made it pro if it was for drink or an injury. And then that's just in Blackburn, you know what I mean? So that's all across the country. So then they're having kids and, as you say, try to love.
And press that on them as well.
Try to live their life through them.
Aye. So, well, we're going to a quick fire round, unless there's anything else you want to have a chat about.
I like this one actually. At Blackburn, we want every kid to feel. Finish the blank.
Jesus, I was going to say something inappropriate, but
That's why I left it.
I'd say we want to feel everybody as part of the team, part of the community.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid
Cheers.
answer. Cheers, Martin.
Thank you.
Right, quick fire. Favourite player growing up?
My favourite player growing up overall, well, it was a tough one because I've had a few, but I would say overall Gaza.
Gaza. Aye.
And who do you think is the best Scottish player of all time?
Ooh. Favourite or best? That's interesting. My favourite one would be Ali McCoist.
Yeah.
Best. It's difficult. There's a
2 golden boots there.
McCoist still.
No, you think? Aye.
McCoist.
2 golden boots back to back. Still. Aye.
McCoist still, aye.
Okay. Best player you've ever seen live? Have you seen McCoist live playing then?
Yes, but funnily enough, I've seen a lot of players live. I've seen Gaza Loudrop, McCoist. I've seen Ronaldo, both Ronaldos, Ronaldinho, Messi. A load of fantastic elite players, but the best player I've seen, 2 players I've seen live performance-wise, was both at European Games at Ibrox. Was Mendieta when he was at Valencia. He was absolutely outstanding at Ibrox that night. And Riquelme when he was at Villarreal ran the show. He'd been out for 5 months. He came on and played 70 minutes, and I've never seen a performance like this. He was just, I actually watched him instead of the game.
Aye.
And that's me seeing a lot of world class player. They two just, it's always stuck in my mind as and then Mendieta went and signed for Middlesbrough.
and then that's it.
That was it.
That was it.
Definitely. And who's the best player you've either coached or played with?
Do
Answer both.
you want to hear something funny?
Go for it.
I quit football. Last time I kicked a ball, do you know? I'll let you have 2 guesses who I played in centre midfield with.
What is you, Martin?
I played. I'll give you a clue. It was for a pub team, Sunday amateur, and all I done was try and run after this guy's mistakes.
He played in your team?
Played in my team.
Ex-pro?
Trevor. Trevor made me quit football.
That's the tag for the podcast.
He's taken so many players to so many different levels and he just ended your career. Oh, brilliant. Who's the best you've coached then?
Best I've coached? Oh, jeez, that's difficult. It's difficult because it depends where...
Just be safe and say Lyle.
No, definitely no. Worst I've coached. Well, I don't know. That's a hard one. What's the hard one? Best I've coached or best I've played with? Tough. The coaching one's tough because there's been so many great players with great attitudes, and you see the boys with the great attitudes tend to be the ones who will maybe go further and will do well. Like, I'll name a few. Alistair Burns was always turned up, done it. He went on to Hearts. Big Eck, who I mentioned earlier, St Johnstone. Dylan went to St Johnstone. There's other players like Killian Boyle, who trains excellent, always focused, always want to do the best. Kai Wamsley, who actually scored for Glenaffer, an absolute peach against United at the weekend. He played with us previously, and he's a fantastic trainer, always on it. Could keep going and going and going with the training. The tempo that Craig had the boys at that team, it was the training was excellent. So I couldn't actually pick one, but the ones I've mentioned probably were the ones who gave their all the time.
Yeah.
Like every time you were there, they'd be the guys telling the ones who were mucking about to stop it and things like that. You'll see it in your own team where you'll do a running exercise and you could name who the ones who'll be at the front before you've even done it.
Aye.
So
100%. What about the biggest character in the changing room?
So my Blacks team was crazy.
Aye.
Crazy. Like we had the characters through that team was unbelievable. That the banter and the patter to them was absolutely superb. Towards the end of it became wild where these guys were kicking off in your deepest, darkest Glasgow, in your deepest, darkest Airdrie, and once one was in, they were all in. So it was a team who they were a they were a proper team, but there was a lot of nutters in that team.
Aye.
And they'll know it. If they're watching this, they'll know it. They'll know what I'm talking about.
Who's the hardest opponent you face as a coach?
Oh, so the first time we played Glenaffer in the Cup, they went on and won it that year. So I think we've played Glenaffer. United's played Glenaffer 4 times.
Every Scottish Cup,
the first year, and Mark's a great guy too. He's had them all the way through. The first year we played them, absolutely superb. Just lightning quick. The way they moved the ball. Definitely that for a young age they were on it. They were good. One of the biggest shocks we had was like a lot of. I can't remember the team that was for Glasgow, and we're watching them warming up. It was back at 7-a-side. We in West Lothian were quite sheltered. In Glasgow and Edinburgh, they're more boisterous at a younger age, and we got this team for Glasgow through for a friendly, and we're watching them warming up, and we're saying, look at their warm up, it's terrible. And then they just bullied us 5-0, right? And it was like a front to us. It wasn't referees. They didn't do referees through there. It was like a front to us, and the boy would go and take it off our player, and he'd just hand it to him. And it was the first time we just like, wow, like that's the culture difference. Like you just need to grow.
Aye.
You just need to get streetwise. That was probably the difference. They're streetwise. We're no as streetwise through here in West Lothian. And going through Edinburgh was kind of get used to that as well.
So what was kind of maybe your toughest away venue? Was that in Edinburgh or Glasgow?
Toughest away venue would be Spartans is always tough.
I was going to say
Spartans is always tough to go through to. They're good. They're always going to get a good game. It's at Spartans.
Or maybe Edinburgh United because the grass.
Aye, that's it as well. There's levellers with grass which kind of impact it. But yep, and then in West Lothian, with the Blacks, you had so many teams playing on grass, so they had to adapt quick. We'd turn up and it'd be
Stuart Field.
Aye, it'd be a bog, and you were going to have to. So we don't know how lucky we are at Blackburn. We train this 3G. We play our drills are ball on the deck, play, and you turn up to this part where you can't pass a ball, and it's you can't turn with foot forward. So it's about adapting, and that's why it's good to sit back at the end of the season. I used to take my team. I'll not say where I used to take them to, but there's a grass pitch which is terrible, and we done most of our training there in the summer because we knew how much bad grass pitches we would
You'd be playing, so you wanted to have that.
So we went away in the summer and trained constantly on this terrible pitch. Means the boys had to run.
I didn't think you'd ever step foot in Celtic Park. But
means they have to run twice as hard and work twice as hard. But
so who's got the best grass park in West Lothian then?
Whitburn when it's done. Whitburn doing it at King George's was always a good grass pitch if it held the rain. Blackburn's middle pitch, absolutely superb.
I like that. I like
love
the middle pitch park.
Absolutely superb when it's done properly as well. Where else?
Stuart Fields.
No, that's about it. But no, that's Whitburn, King George's, and then the middle park at Blackburn.
Paul Beth. That's a decent shout because
there was no Paul Beth team, so
no.
That was the other great one. Was we played a good couple of cup finals up at West Calder Junior, and that was always immaculate. The boys up there always had that immaculate for the cup finals, so that was a nice place to play.
Definitely.
VAR, keep it or ban it?
Depends if Rangers win the league.
Rangers win the league or Scotland win the World Cup?
Rangers win the league. Not even in doubt.
Disappointing. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Ooh.
Interesting.
What's your biggest pet hate on the sideline?
You.
I was going to say. Genuinely?
You.
Really?
Yep.
100%.
If you'd have threw that ball down and I was Trevor, I'd have dealt you to get it away.
Aye, just that one instant, or me in general?
You move like a fairy sometimes. You could just quit that as well.
Aye, just jumping about the gaff. Aye.
But being serious,
it's the passion.
It's passion, but also, as I said to you, it can reflect on the boys, because if I done that with my team, with the Blacks, right, I know that the next guy that got foul's picking that ball up and doing exactly the same thing. and then saying to me, well, you done it. But they're getting booked for it, because the referee's booking
The player.
play for it.
No, I mean, we said Graham's always he was very, I think, animated in the first couple of times, like, and he's been sent off, and he said to the boys, look, the way I acted and that was no right, I shouldn't have acted. And to give him his credit, he's been good this season. He's not been sent off once this season.
Aye, that's what happens when other coaches do. I just take it for them.
But see, the thing, I never shouted at refs because I didn't see the point in it, right?
Well, see, and that's another thing. I remember when I first started going, and I messaged you going, how do you deal with these refs here? And you said to me, I just don't talk to them.
Yep, I don't talk.
And I think that's the best of, like, just blanket completely. There's no point. They're never going to change their decision.
There would be one shout I would do, and it was just to annoy people and get a laugh. If I really thought he'd done something wrong, I would, and one of my players was really upset about it, I'd shout and say, it's all right, he knows he's made a mistake, it's fine. So but I always thought there's no point in shouting at refs, because you're getting on their back, you're getting away from the coaching, you're not concentrating on the game.
Aye.
The boys then see you shouting at referee, so you shout at referee. So I've actually got good relationships with loads of referees, and some of the decisions are wrong, and I'll speak to them after it about it, and I'll say, oh, I think that was maybe wrong, blah blah blah. In fact, the refs messaged me during this podcast, probably digging me up about something for years ago, but
No. Brilliant. What if, and maybe the last one, if you want to jump in, what's the one word that describes Blackburn Community Football Club?
one word. Tough one.
Tough.
Passionate, and that comes for the board level down. There's some difficult conversations at board level. There's some difficult conversations we have with people, and spoke about guys like Jimmy Johnston, who were there for years, David Jones, who were there for years, who created what we are reaping now. They had fallouts, we'd falls out with them, I fall out with Trevor, fall out with Neil, our things, we'll all fall out because we're passionate. It's not because we're being selfish, it's because we want the best for Blackburn. And like guys like Jimmy and Davey, who I just mentioned, they set the benchmark.
Yeah.
And we've got to then push it on for the next generation. Where can we take it? What's your phrase?
Reach for the stars.
Cheers.
Or just below it.
Right.
Aye. I was like, aye, no.
So then we've got to push it as far as we can come, so somebody else comes, the next generation comes in and wants to take over and push it as high as they can.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'd love for somebody else to kind of, the next generation, the Killians and stuff like that, to come on and keep this podcast running and bring it up to the next level in the next generation.
You wouldn't get Killian on the podcast. You get them with Charlie Reid on the podcast, I think.
I'd get Charlie and Lewis, that'd be a good combo.
Oh, no, I wouldn't even watch that for free.
But for me, like, I would love Blackburn to expand. I would love it to have
more parks.
More parks, more free Gs. I would love it to have a bigger clubhouse where we could maybe do some hospitality, where there would be bar functions. I would love us to have gyms. I would love us to have modular places. So, like,
build up to like being a League Two.
Just as far as you can, as far as we can go, and as far as we can fund, then that's where it'll not stop.
Aye.
And guys, and I mentioned Trevor there, but Trevor's brilliant. He'll phone me 101 ideas. One of them will be good, but it's good to get 100.
Aye, I mind when he told me about this, I was like,
Yep.
Podcast, but it's making money. It's keeping people involved. So,
yep.
Aye, just 101 ideas, and one of them.
And we need guys like Trevor, Smiley, keep pushing this place on. Angela doing a fantastic job, now the chairperson.
And guys like yourself as well, I'd say, because you're not doing any coaching at the moment, but you're still heavily involved with the club. So guys like yourself are in that bracket.
Yep, and also I think it's great when I say about passion. We're more involved with the women's section now. We've got the two ladies on the board as well, who are absolutely brilliant, and they bring passion and bring a different dimension to it, and it's working really well.
Aye. So it's good to look forward to the future. Like the future's definitely bright, and we're certainly
bigger car park and all that.
Well, I wasn't going to mention the car park,
I don't
but now that you've mentioned it.
Bigger car park would help, yeah.
Aye, or even just repaint the lines, because some people can't seem to park in the lines.
Yeah, there is.
Or somebody tell Rido to get a different space and get us the best one every single time.
First up, best dressed.
Yes,
that's it.
I wish maybe you get plaques on the
Aye.
parking spaces and reserved and stuff like that. But anyway, that's another conversation. Look, thank you very, very much for coming in, Martin. I've really enjoyed this chat. Apologies, it's probably went on longer than we hoped.
It's alright, you can cut it.
Not a
You'll get
chance,
grief
man.
when he goes home.
You can cut it all. I should be in my bed now. Go work early tomorrow.
Right, well, we'll let you crack on, mate. Thanks again for coming on.
Aye, cheers,
problem.
Martin.
And
Thank
we'll
yous.
pop you on again in the future.
It was
Really
a
good.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys. Speak to you all in 2 weeks' time. See you till then. Bye.
Right.
Cheers.